Hello, 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 everyone. I'm going to lose my voice today. Let's see. We'll give everybody just a few minutes to just get plugged in here. Let's see. Let's see. Give us just a few minutes. Okay. Okay, so I am going to just go ahead and get started. I have a lot of stuff I want to cover today. But before I begin, I just wanted to just chat with you one-on-one because I'm actually going to share my screen. And when I do that, I can't see your cute faces, which I hate so much. Gosh dang, I'm going to lose my voice today. This is such a bummer. Over the weekend, it dipped to like, I don't know, 35 degrees here. It was crazy. And anyway, when I did it, I definitely got sick because of it. So super awesome. So thanks everybody for joining me today. This is kind of a meeting that I haven't ever really done that's going to be kind of jam-packed with a lot of statistics, which anyone that knows me, I'm definitely an expressive personality and statistics just aren't my thing. But really for me today, it's just to kind of give you a visual because I really feel like it's super important. Let's see, just kind of getting everybody in here. And I also think it's important just moving forward as we're starting to, I mean, we're almost halfway through 2021, which is just crazy. Like, I can't believe we're halfway through it. So let's see, most everybody has our cameras off. I can't see your faces. Is there anybody here that's new to my platform that hasn't been on a meeting yet today? Anyone that's new? Renee, hi there, welcome here. So thanks all of you who are new and who are just joining me today. Really fun for me to get to know every single one of you. If you're joining us from my Facebook group, from Real Estate Talk for Women, thanks for joining me over here as well. That Facebook group is really amazing. So if you're not a part of that yet, we've got a little over, I don't know, 6,200 people in there right now, which is incredible. And we've got some amazing women that have years and years and years of experience, which has really been fun. Additionally, over the last like 2 weeks, we've had so many people looking for referrals across the country. They'll just blip in that they're looking for an agent. And the nice thing is that my platform's not bombarded by, thousands and thousands of real estate agents. So they're really kind of getting connected and they're able to get to know each other as they start to exchange some referrals. So today I'm going to just go ahead and dive right into it. Before I get started, does anyone have any, I kind of want to know in the chat where everyone's coming from. It helps me just a little bit to kind of know what markets I'm dealing with and that I'm kind of talking about. So if you wouldn't mind dropping in the chat what city you're from. Okay, Texas, what state that you service, Columbus, Ohio, awesome. And Denver, cool, I'm going to be there soon. Buffalo, New York, Houston, Texas, cool. Love that. Lots of movement going on in a lot of these states, which is really awesome. Texas, gosh, we see so many people that are moving into Texas and lots of people moving across the country. Someone in the Wasatch Front here in Salt Lake City. Hi, Tracy. I'm all the way down in Southern Utah. I live here in St. George and our market is hot. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the numbers from 2020. Tennessee, I love that. You're so far away from us. It's awesome. Thanks for joining us here. But we're going to be talking about what's going on across the country, and we're really going to make sure that I paint a really good picture as to how we need to proceed in 2021 and also 2022. I feel like so I'm just a regular real estate agent, just like you gals. I mean, I run a team of women in my industry, and I'm still in production. So I'm out there doing exactly what you're doing. But what I'm noticing is in my 15 years of experience, I can tell you that market shifts are really almost blindside people, right? And with COVID happening this last year, it really kind of threw people through a loop. And while some had their worst years ever, I mean, I don't know how, but well, I do know how, just continued working and kept kind of digging through the trenches, but I had my biggest year last year. And I say that only because I want you to understand that I get what it takes in order to have success in a a changing, ever-changing market. And I feel like we're definitely approaching a changing in not just our market, but since COVID, we've actually had to change the way that we do business. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So bear with me because I'm seriously not tech savvy and I'm on my own today, and I don't have Maddie here, who some of you may or may not know is my assistant. So let's see, let me just go ahead and put that on there. Can everybody see my screen, hopefully? So today we're going to talk about how to land more deals and where to find them. This is so important just because the way that we've been doing business is different. So everyone who knows me, and if you're new to my platform, you'll know I just kind of say it how it is, and I'm very brutal and kind of upfront and honest about really, let's talk about what's happening. That's why it says, let's be honest. I don't like the fluff, and I really want to just dive into the numbers and really look at it. So let's see here. Oh, sad, I'm not gonna be able to see when I hear people trying to get in here. Let's see. In order to get to the point, we just need to establish a few of the truths that we're seeing in our marketplace across the country. So first of all, we're in a seller's market. No kidding, right? Like, who doesn't know that? I spoke with an agent in New York City a month or so ago, and she was telling me that they're still struggling there, obviously, right? Goodness, I'm gonna have a hard time with not having my assistant here to help me with this. Give me 1 second. I feel bad for those. I don't want to leave anyone out here. We better get them in here. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let me get back into this. Yes, I love my candidate experience. It's amazing. Here we go. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. So the second is that home prices are at an all-time high, right? I mean, it's incredible how much the market has actually increased. Every single month, we're seeing our prices go up and up and up. Additionally, the third part is that the last 14 months has literally changed how the world is doing business. And I'm pretty sure everybody can agree that this has absolutely been a game changer, especially in the real estate business. How we're showing property, how we're communicating with our customers, how we're doing virtual tours. Our city has been open for a long time, so we've been really fortunate, but I know there's other markets where they literally are still just trying to crawl out of the COVID pandemic repercussions. So the lastly is that we realtors, we have to adjust ourselves, or we're going to find ourselves out of business. And I don't know about how you guys view it, but I look at it as every time I put a house under contract, so many people are so excited, like, yeah, I got a closing. And literally I'm like, crap, I'm unemployed. Like, the minute I close a deal, this is how I continue to keep my motivation in check, is to remind myself that now I'm unemployed. Who's my next client? Who can I work with next? And we have to learn how to adjust in order to survive this type of a market that we're headed into. So again, this is me, and I am so not analytical, but we're going to go through a few of these slides. Where I got this information from was the National Association of Realtors, and rarely do I stop and read a magazine, guaranteed. However, I happened to come across a slide the other day that was talking about social media and how much buyers are actually on social media. And it prompted me to think, you know what, we need to chat about this because it was actually alarming. So we're going to get into that. But first of all, the home search process. So for 43% of recent buyers, the first step that they took was to go online and look at properties. Everybody knows that, right? And that 18% of the buyers, they first contacted their real estate agent. Super, super low. The second slide is that the home buying and real estate professionals, 88% of buyers were recently purchased their home. They used a real estate agent, and or 6% purchased directly from a builder. Our numbers are a little bit elevated as we have zero inventory now, it feels like, but our builders have actually stopped taking contracts where we actually live. They're not taking contracts, and they just build spec homes and they put it up on the market for bid for everybody. So this is the type of market that we're moving into. But the good news is when people are saying, oh, there's no home selling, or I can't seem to get a deal done. Well, 88% of buyers are actually using a real estate agent. And I'm going to give you an alarming statistic as we get a little bit further in this as to why you're so valuable and why it's so important for us to get out there. And the last one is that the home sellers and their selling experience, the reason for selling their home was a desire to move closer to family and to friends. Was 15%. That seemed to be the highest percentage. And then 89% of the home sellers worked with a real estate agent to sell their home. So again, they're using real estate agents. So I know that they think that they can sell for sell by owner. And I know some of you have spoken with for sell by owners. Our job is to give a very good, solid presentation as to why this concerns us for them. And that's your line. Can I tell you why that causes me some concern for you? I'm not trying to bash any other agent. I'm not trying to snowblow them. It causes me concern, right? Because we know real estate agents are actually going to sell for more money if they list with a real estate agent than if they sold by themselves. And the number one reason why? Exposure, right? We have exposure. We have our MLS, we syndicate. And I always love it when agents are like, oh, I've got this really great thing and I syndicate to 300 websites. Guess what? Everybody does. So once you demystify that to your clients, they'll be like, oh, everybody does that, you know? Anyway, I can get off on a tangent on that. So next is that this is an interesting stat here, is that the home buyers before and during COVID, so buyers who purchased after March were more likely to purchase a multi-generational home at 15% compared to 11% who purchased before April. Okay, they also have a shortened expected tenure, meaning that they're going to stay in the house for a smaller amount of time. People aren't buying houses for 30 years. Okay, it just isn't the way that they buy homes anymore. My mom and dad lived in the house for 30 years. I will never do that. That's just not me. It's not what we do. What this means for you is this is how you build your repeat referral business. We have to take a look at the sales that we've had and we have to foster those relationships with them. And don't always have your head down looking for the next lead, you know, a lead. You did all the work with your past clients, right? So if they're telling you that there's a high percentage of people who are actually buying homes for a shorter period of time, that's something that you need to consider and take a look at and evaluate your database as to who you need to be talking to that's going to be making the move that's coming up to that 5 to 8 year mark. Okay, next is home sellers before and during COVID. The top reason, again, from April was to be closer to friends and family. After March, they were selling, it just was because their home was too small or whatever. What I found was interesting, I found this random statistic as well saying that before COVID, yard size didn't really much matter to a large percentage, but it went up by like 20%, that all of a sudden a yard actually meant something to them. Because when you're home all the time, you know, the parents would rather have them have a yard to play in. So some interesting statistics, and I'm getting to a point and I promise you. So we're going to break this all down. So why am I sharing a bunch of stats that you can search and find yourself online? And how is this going to increase the number of deals that you land? I know that's your question today. And then what is the 3-part prospecting framework that's going to increase your production? And then how will all this info be helpful to communicate in a way that converts to your prospects? And I'm going to answer all those questions for you, I promise. So hang in there with me. Here's the big picture, okay? These are your clients broken down by age. And I thought this was so cool because this really lays out who I'm dealing with as far as my buyer and my sellers so that I can better communicate with them in a way that is making them understand the information that I'm trying to deliver. And I'll explain that a little bit more as we get going. But the interesting thing is, well, the fun part is that people are always like, oh, I'm not a millennial because I've got kids that are, you know, close to that millennial age. And they're like more the younger Gen Y. And I've always said I have 2 different generations of kids. I feel like I actually raised 3 different generations of kids. But dang, they all think a little bit differently and their priorities are different. And I'm sure if you've worked with a variety of clients, you know this to be true. This is an interesting slide here that says that the share of buyer and sellers by generation. This one is so important, and I'm going to refer to this one often. Look at the largest percentage, which is your older Gen Y and your millennials. Those are your buyers. Coincidentally, they're also your sellers, which is interesting. They happen to be like the number 3, I think, in owning investment properties in a similar spreadsheet like this. They actually own an investment property. So this is who is your, your largest pool, which of course it would make sense that you get into your Gen Xers and your young boomers. Those are up to, I believe the 55 range. I'll show you another slide that will kind of lay that out. But the age of home buyers is really interesting because the largest is the 30 to 39 year group of buyers. So when you're looking at your list of your past clients and your SOIs, you should be asking yourself, how old are my customers? When are they going to be making a move up? When should I put on my, how should I market to them? How should I be contacting them? Should I be asking the older Gen Y group if they're interested in purchasing an investment property? Have they ever thought about buying an investment property? You need to know how much money that you need to put down, give them a little information. This is how you speak to these demographics. The first-time home buyers in the age group, 88% are 22 to 29. These are the ones that are feeling the effects of COVID the most, I feel like, in our housing crisis that we're in. I use that word crisis because in January of 2019, we had a crisis in January of 19 before COVID even started in our area. We had a 200 home deficit in January of 2019. And now we literally have 200 homes built and standing in our market. We're in a huge, huge deficit. But interesting again, who your demographic is as far as first-time home buyers. Next is the location of the home purchased. So this is an interesting statistic because if you notice across the board, most everyone is moving to a suburb or a subdivision. This would explain, because I had the hardest time understanding, if there's anyone on here from California, I had the hardest time understanding how I felt like half of California was moving to Utah, yet their market is just as fast. I was like, how can that be? Like, who's buying all of that? Now I know, because the inner city and the smaller like downtown areas are actually moving outward and moving out into a little bit more of a suburban type lifestyle. Very, very interesting to me. Methods for real estate agents use to market their home. So this is again for 2020. So everyone typically uses the multiple listing service, a yard sign, realtor.com, open house, which I don't know who's doing open houses in 2020 with COVID, but we certainly weren't. Real estate agent websites, real estate company websites. The interesting part here I want you to notice is social networking for all sellers was number 23. And if you look at the age demographic again, our largest groups are the 30 to 65-year-olds, and that should really alarm you. I didn't realize that 65-year-olds were on there so much, on social media. But I promise I'm getting to a point. The next one is the information sources used in their home search. Most of them used an online website. Again, everyone's moving online. Nothing has ever been like this before. When I started real estate in 2015, my broker told us if we had a computer on our desk, we weren't serious about being in the real estate business. All I needed was a phone and my finger. Thank goodness that was 15 years ago. But I eventually, succumbed and finally realized that, hey, I kind of need to get a Facebook page. Okay, so where buyers found their home when they purchased it. They found that 52% of all buyers found it on the internet. Again, we're not door knocking, we're not cold calling, you're not, this is literally the way that things are progressing. And I see this only spiraling exponentially into 2022. Use of internet to search for homes. Goodness. I mean, literally all these slides came from the NAR. So I'm happy to, you guys will all get a recording of this, just so you know. So if I move through it too fast and you want to go back and re-look at it, don't worry, we're going to send you a recording. But this is pretty alarming. I mean, they're frequently on there, every single age range up to 73 years old. That's nuts. By representation arrangement with an agent. Okay, this was a sad one that I had to throw in. There's only 39% of buyers that said they had a written agreement with their agent when they were purchasing a home. Goodness gracious, we have got to do a much better job about getting agency representation signed. especially in a market like this where they're calling on signs, and look how often they're on the internet. I lost a client the other day to someone else. She actually sent me a house from a person that actually works in my brokerage from her website, which was kind of funny, but not too funny because I actually lost the client. So the bummer part was I had started having conversations. I hadn't pulled her in yet for an appointment. We weren't able to get on the same page yet. And by the time I did, too late, the other agent got a hold of her. That's just the marketplace that we're in. So we have to do a better job at getting representation signed. I just put this one in just because I thought that was staggering. So the next one is how buyers found real estate agent. This is going to be part of my wrap up point that we're going to get to when I show you how. But most of them were referred by a friend. Referrals are your friends. Like, referral is the biggest way to have success in the real estate business. And it starts with your very first transaction. All right. Knowing who your first transaction was, and then when you finish closing the deal, can you think of anyone else that I could help? Do you have any friends or family members who are thinking of making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? I would be happy to help them. Here's my information. Here's a couple extra cards. If you don't ask, you'll never get it. But this is a pretty amazing slide here just to show you where it's all coming from. The number of real estate agents that are interviewed. Goodness gracious. So literally people typically only interview one real estate agent, which is nuts. Sometimes they'll interview two. What this means to you is that when you go on that listing presentation, you need to make sure to give them the best presentation you can, and you better ask for the signature. Those people literally are going to sign with you. So walk in there with the expectation that you're not leaving here without a contract signed. And even if it's just getting them to sign the representation agreement, and then you'll have the MLS, documents all filled out another time. But if the most important is getting a signature on that listing agreement. But pretty crazy, only one agent that they interviewed. The next one is most important factors when choosing an agent. Of course, they're going to hope, I'm glad that they picked honest and trustworthy, and their experience, their reputation as an agent, and again, the agent is a friend or a family member. But the top three are the most important here. The reputation of an agent. I find in a market like this, it does nothing but expose. It exposes who the real estate agents really are. Are they ethical? Are they honest? How do they handle the multiple offer situations? Do they call you back? My worst pet peeve is when I send an offer in and I don't hear back. The least you could do is send me a text and say, hey, just so you know, we went with another offer. I'll get you a rejection in the morning. Totally fine. But be professional. Like, we have to work together. In our community, we have, 1,400 to 1,600 real estate agents at any given time. We all know each other. Literally, I'm going to run into these people here and there, and I'm going to see them on another deal for sure, just because my marketplace happens to be so small. So your reputation will precede you. And there's another that's going to go into my framework that we're going to talk about. But you want to always conduct yourself in the way that you would want to earn someone's business for that repeat referral customer. And certainly having good agent relationships is a way to win over a customer. I frequently will tell them, oh yeah, I know that agent. I've done several deals with that agent. Oh, I know how this agent negotiates. I know how people negotiate. I pay attention. So those are the things that we want to watch for when we're moving contracts. All right, your agent skills and qualities are considered very important by buyers. Again, the honesty, integrity, knowledge of purchase process, and your responsiveness, your knowledge of the real estate market. That's why we're having this conversation today about these slides. It's very important for you to understand who your buyers and your sellers are. The majority of them are 33 to 55 years old, and they are online. Let me back up a minute. Not only are they online, but those are their buyers. So when you're talking to the clients after you list a house, you can say to them, hey, just so you know, when we put this out, 9 times out of 10, we're probably going to get an age range from 33 to 55, unless you're in a senior community, clearly. But this is how you can ramble off your statistics and actually talk about the market and educate them as to what they can expect. So the importance of agent communication. This is such a big one here. 74% of buyers got calls personally to inform them of activities. Sends me postings as soon as properties are listed, was a high number as well. Sends me property info, communicates via text, sends me emails about my specific needs. Communication is huge. And I have new agents that work for me, and they're just depending on their age or their abilities, they tend to go to text before they'll pick up the phone and call. Always call first, text, send an email, let them know you tried to call and you sent them a message just in case they were screening phone numbers. Hey, by the way, that was me. So when I call an internet lead, let's just say that for instance, I call them, hi, this is Nicole with Keller Williams, just giving you a call. Looks like you recently registered on my website. I was just wondering if there was some questions that I may answer for you. No, we're doing good. Okay, great. So I make sure that I log that. Then I ask, the next pre-qualifying questions. If I don't get an answer, I leave a voicemail. Hi, this is Nicole Briggs, same thing. You recently registered on my website. I was just calling to leave you a message and let you know I'm going to send you an email. I'll also shoot you a text just so that you've got my cell phone number. I let people know what I'm doing when I'm prospecting. I let them know, what they can expect from me. Then when they get in their email and they say there's an email from Nicole Briggs, they know that's me. So making sure that we have conversations with people is highly important to the buyers and sellers. So how many times buyer recommended typical agent? 37% of the time, they referred them 15 or one time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So it goes down the list right there in that first column. So I don't know about you guys, but I have a family that I have done probably 8 deals with. And it's super fun. Like they refer me to their cousins, and then I know their aunties, and I know their uncle. And then when their uncle passed away, like, just me sending out a condolence to everybody. They're like, Nicole, thank you so much. Like, we just consider you part of the family. I mean, that's so nice, but I've built such a relationship with them that they really will continue to refer you over and over and over if you do a great job and you stay in touch with them, okay? Next is what sellers most want from real estate agents. Again, they just want to help the sellers get, this is seller side, not buyer, sorry, this is why this one's different. They want the home to be advertised to potential buyers, which is obvious. And then they want to help sell the home with a specific time frame, which is awesome. And then price the home competitively, and then find ways to fix up the home. I mean, giving them a recommendation, of course, and then help find them a home, right? Or find a buyer for the home. So really, those are the top 4 things. When you're presenting, those should be in your back of mind. And of course, you're going to be asking the seller, what's most important to you? But these are the key things that if they haven't communicated that to you, what if you're dealing with someone who's more of an analytical or a shy person, and they're more of an introvert, and they're not going to give you a bunch of information about them? These are the key points that you should be hitting on. This is what they mostly want to know. So what can we conclude from all those slides? I know it's a lot, sorry, and I went through them really fast. What I can conclude from this for sure is that the highest percentage of buyers and sellers right now are ages of 30 to 39. And that's also, oh, sorry, I have the millennials kind of slammed in there, but second with the Gen Xers, 40 to 54. That's what I know. And that they're online, they're savvy with the internet, they shop online, and they look at homes before they even book an appointment to see it. They work with real estate agents, they appreciate communication, they refer their friends and family, and they're active as heck on social media. That's what I know. When I look at those slides, and we can just thank really COVID for pushing us in that direction even more so, does anybody think things are going to revert back to the way they were and not be online anymore? You think everyone's just going to pull out and go, oh, sorry, online sales, they're really up, but we're going to go ahead and scale back, and we're just going to start putting stock on the shelves again. Like, it just isn't the way that they do business. And we're the same way. Like, our real estate business is trending so much online that I've heard grumblings of realtors saying, well, they don't need us anymore. They can get on the internet and they can do this stuff themselves. I just showed you why they still need you, okay? That's all your own mindset. And they need your expertise, and they need you to be vocal, and they need you to be vocal online, because that's where they're at if you want to do more business. So now what, right? I've given you all these stats, and I've told you everything about what's going on with the market. So here's the framework that I propose. And I know some of you at this moment are thinking to yourself, great, we're going to talk about social media, because yes, we are. Part one is we're going to create. I don't know how many times I post on my social media. If you don't have a business profile, start one today. And if you don't know how to do it, message me. Some of the questions that I get is, should I have a personal? I have a personal one. Do I need to create a business one as well? Yes, you do. And there's a reason why. And it's because the analytics are different. You can see some insights on a business profile that you can't see on a personal. Additionally, I don't put personal stuff on my business page. Every once in a while, I'll put, something about something great happening with my family. But I really honestly want to make sure that I keep it business, and I keep it to where people know what I'm about and what type of business I'm trying to have. And if I'm posting, my daughter's first car, unless I'm talking about so grateful for my success, I mean, that's kind of a thing that you want to toot your own horn, I guess. But I don't need to be posting that kind of stuff on there. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you already have a profile, I would ask you if you're actually optimizing it. And for those of you that have a profile or they're pretty savvy in social media, you know what optimizing means. That means that, your the name that you created is something that's searchable. I can't tell you how many times I'm looking for a real estate agent across the country, and I'll put on Instagram, Texas Realtor. It comes up with like 11. It's like, how many people don't know to put that in their in the top of their profile? Put in there, you're a real estate agent in St. George, Utah, or wherever you're a real estate agent. Make sure your location is on there. If it's not, we can't find you, right? So start with your media platform. Pick whichever platform you like. I can tell you most buyers are actually on Facebook and on Instagram, since they now communicate together. For those of you that don't know, they are one and the same. So if you don't have to post on both, you can actually set your account to when you post on one, it will auto post to the other, which is so nice. That's what I do, because I don't have time to post on all of them. So pick one platform that you're comfortable with, according to the National Association of Realtors, Facebook and Instagram. Someone's like, well, I'm on LinkedIn. If you want to connect with other real estate agents, go to LinkedIn. I mean, really, like LinkedIn, most of your clients, unless they're in a business setting, you're not going to be able to grow a following as big as you will on Facebook and social media, in the real estate arena anyways. Okay, so then what? So you're going to start a business profile, begin showing up for your demographic, and I'm going to show you how. And then the third one is invite your phone book to like your page. Everybody has one of these. And I don't know about you guys, but I have like 3,000 contacts in my phone. Every single person, if they made it in here, they need to know I have a business page. And even if it's as simple as when you go to your profile, you can share your own link and you drop it in a text and say, hey, I just want to let you know I just started my new business page. I'm so excited about it. It's new, so don't judge, but here's the link and I'd love it if you'd go follow. That's not hard at all. But we have to start building our community. And if all of our buyers and sellers are moving online, hopefully you're moving online too, okay? So use your phone to your advantage and then begin posting. And I know that sounds super easy, but it really, probably the number one thing that I get from people is, I don't know what to post every day, or I get stuck. It takes me an hour to create a posting. I get it. I totally get it. So here's some ideas. And I'll have Maddie create, well, you guys will get a copy of this. So I can always have her create a PDF and share this with you. I usually do, but we ran out of time. So here's what you can post. So you can teach someone, solve a problem in 3 steps, share a useful technique. I mean, we're real estate agents. Hey, here's how you get stickers off of windows. I love Goo-Gone, just so everyone knows. If you're in a new construction business and your client's got sticky stuff on there and you're sending a welcome care package, include Goo-Gone. It's awesome. Share how you do a task. Hey, just today out showing houses. I start my day here, whatever. I know it sounds really, really elementary, but I promise you, people will love knowing what it is that you do. They want to be personal with you. Inspire people, share a lesson that you learned. Hey, today I was in a multiple offer round and I found that if I just, we wrote a solid offer for whatever particular reason and we got it accepted. This was an exciting day. I'm so excited for this family moving forward, whatever. Tell a story that inspires them, show what it is to be possible when you're persistent. So excited. We listed this house. We didn't get any showings, didn't get any offers for 14 days. We reduced the price by only 3% and we ended up getting, 10 offers. Now we knew we were priced right. Something like that, okay? Share what's on your mind. That's such a great one. Feeling pretty excited about the week. Like guaranteed, people are highly motivated on Monday and by Friday, they're ready for the weekend. Tell a story from your life. This is always a good one, and this one's really hard to put yourself and be a little bit vulnerable. The hardest thing for people to do is share something that is really kind of vulnerable or is going to, spark some type of emotion. But that literally is what you need to do because they're looking for a Me Too scenario. I can always tell my first-time home buyers the reason they want to know how I got to start in real estate. Well, because when I purchased my home, I called the agent on the sign. He showed me where the key, or he called me back and he gave me the key over the phone. I let myself in. I signed a contract, never saw my agent still. I got my own lender, never heard from my agent. I went to closing, never saw my agent, and my payment, because I bought a house in 2006, my payment actually was $300 more than what I was anticipating. And the docs were delivered the moment that I was sitting there to sign. By the way, I was homeless for four kids. I had 4 kids and nowhere to go. So I can always share a story as to how I got my start in the real estate business. Everyone has a story. You can show what you're working on today. I've got 3 buyers. There is no way to show people what you do than say, hey, I'm working with 3 buyers today. Today's going to be a crazy day. I'm so excited, and then do a follow-up post. So awesome. Showed 6 homes, broke 3 offers, looking for some acceptances. People just want to know what you do. And now they know you're busy. That now they know that you're actually in the real estate business. The more you post, the more they'll know. Show the results of a recent project or showing. That's always awesome. Like when I go into a house that has something killer or something that's kind of funny, like I'll never forget, there's an agent in town that shared a picture of a toilet in the corner. I've never seen a corner toilet before. It literally had like the ceramic was in the corner. Crazy. So sharing some funnies about real estate is always fun too. My worst pet peeve is toilet seats being left up. And so clearly I have a plethora of photos of people with their toilet seats up. It drives me bonkers. Ask your followers what they think. Hey guys, what do you think of this house I just listed? It's awesome. Those are all good topics that will get people watching you, knowing that you're an expert in your market. Ask them what they want to see. Hey, what would you guys like to see? More kitchens? Would you like to see some awesome views? What can I post next week? Ask about their experience. Share. This is such a good one to share referral or your reviews. Share your reviews from your clients' experiences. You guys should be sending them out a survey. I use SurveyMonkey. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but I send out surveys and then let them rate your experience with you, and it will send it back to you, and then you can post about it. Celebrate your clients' wins and successes. Just had a closing, so excited for these clients. Who else knows someone that I can work with today? I'm looking for some more buyers or sellers I can put into a home or make a move. Something like that. Celebrate someone in your community. We're going to touch on this one again in a minute. And celebrate something that you did today. There are so many post topics, and if you're looking for more, dang, Pinterest is like a rabbit hole. I can't even hardly log on to that thing anymore just because I'll get stuck in there forever. But having ideas as to what to post is typically the hardest thing. So if you'll just take a minute each week and just say, okay, the way that I do it, I do a picture, like a photo of me, a graphic, a quote, something personal, and then, just kind of a random, something that happens that week I'll post about. So I have a specific thing that I post, and I have specific things to jog my memory so that I know what I want to put on my feed each week. So that's the first part. The second part is to begin actually showing up for them. you want them to call you and you want their business, right? So you guys got to put yourself out there. And I know social media is so, so hard to put yourself out there. People are like, it's not really my personality. I understand. I totally understand that. Like, it's still hard for me to get in front of the camera. I'm really grateful for COVID because it pushed me to have to get out and do online calls just like this. These meetings are so fun for me and I absolutely love doing them. But like my first time, I could just feel my like teeth chatter and I was so nervous, you know? And I hate having photos done of myself. I know that it doesn't look like it because all I have is a bunch of freaking photos, but I'm telling you, to go to a photo shoot is so unnerving. So I get it. So my platform is called Show Up, and everyone knows the reason behind that is I really wholeheartedly believe, like even in my personal life, it's about how you show up for people. How do you show up for your kids? You know, would you ever miss a baseball game, or my daughter a cheer competition? You know, for me, I wanted the people in my life to know I was showing up for them. Okay. And when you have a personal experience where it just rocks your world, which everyone knows, the Nikki B, and maybe you don't, those of you that are new, the Nikki B platform, where that came from was my daughter had a best friend. And when she was 16, she passed away. Okay, so she died by suicide. So the hardest thing ever was, and if you're moms, you know this, when you meet your kids as friends, and there's just always that one kid that just strikes a nerve with you, right? That you're just like, okay, they need a friend. Like, I'll be in their corner. Even though they're kind of a little shit, I'm just gonna take them under my wing. That was her for me, okay? So when you feel like you connect with someone and then all of a sudden you really realize that they need more, right? Like, people aren't showing up for her. And that's literally how I felt. And that's why I decided to name the platform Show Up, is because I really feel like we have to do a better job at showing up for people in our personal lives, in our professional lives, for our customers. How we show up is 100% how we're going to be remembered. Okay. So anyway, that's a little background story about where the Show Up comes from. And the Nikki B part comes in that her last post to me was "Love you, Nikki B," and she's the only one that called me Nikki B. So that's why I say I don't go by it, but I'll totally answer to it, because every time someone calls me, it makes me super, super happy, and I just know I'm doing the right thing. So backstory there, sorry. Okay, so next is, I know this isn't easy, okay, and I know this is gonna be foreign for a few of you. Some of you already have great social media pages, but here's a little bit of help. So here's how I do it, the 5x5 framework, okay? I begin with commenting on 5 of your friends' posts, just 5. Hey, I love that shirt. Hey, that house looks so great. Hey, you know, just so glad I saw you pop up. I haven't seen you for a while, right? Comment on 5 of your friends' posts. Next is DM 5 people, so direct message 5 people and let them know that you're in business. Should they need anything real estate related, you're there for them, okay? Additionally, comment something nice of importance. Hey, I love this post. I'm so glad I saw you here. I just want to let you know I just recently joined the real estate business and I'm so excited. Here's my handle. If you wouldn't mind giving me a follow, I'd love to keep, stay in touch. That's it. Send them a text. Send it to them and just ask them for, to reciprocate. There's a reason why you do this 5x5, and I'll tell you why. Here's my cute daughter, just walked in. So, okay, so the next one is like 5 posts of people that you know and people that you don't. So on your feed, you guys all know that you get to see all your friends, right? And then sometimes there'll be suggestions in there, or what, like, I swear I can say computer and all of a sudden computers will start popping up on my Instagram, right? So in your feed, you'll have other people that you don't know, okay? But start following them or follow people of interest. You'll want them to be local, obviously, because you're building your business page. But the reason why you do these things, the 5x5 framework, is you're beating the algorithm, okay? By commenting and then DMing people and then having actual dialogue. When you guys are going back and forth in that DM, it lets the algorithm know that, hey, they're actually getting engagement. People are actually having conversations with you. I can show you why this is so important. So about 2 weeks ago, I feel like I was on like social media burnout. It was really, really like a struggle for me to just like do a couple reels or something. It was just like, I don't know. I'm working on my ebook that I just am launching today. And I just was working on a lot of stuff and I was overwhelmed. Definitely overwhelmed. But when you go to your insights, here's why you do this. I only have, let me go to my profile. I only have 1,921 followers, okay? Most social media, what's like an influencer of some sort, they're in the 50, 100,000 range, right? So my followers is low, but what's interesting is my insights. If you look at how many impressions I'm getting, which is the most important thing, is how often are people seeing are they seeing my things that I'm posting? It's at, and I don't know if you can see my camera. I don't know if you can. 35,000 impressions. And that's half of what it was, because my goal was I had hit 69,000 impressions. And in a month, I'd had over 110,000 impressions. That's 110,000 people that I don't know that are seeing my stuff, that's seeing everything I'm posting. So, and the only way that you can do this is not because of followers. So don't play the following game. You don't have to follow people that you don't like. You don't like them, don't follow them, okay? But people that you have of interest, mortgage companies that you work with, title companies that you work with, follow them. Do business with them, comment on their page. Hey, thanks so much. I always tell Marcy at Infinity Title, thanks so much for another awesome closing. You guys are so great. By doing that, I'm beating the algorithm. I'm also giving a shout out to one of my vendors, right? So it's a way for you to actually grow your social media following and to build a presence. So the most important thing during COVID, it was scary, right? Like all of a sudden our town shut down and we're like, ghost town here. And I thought, what in the heck are we going to do? And I felt sick to my stomach just because I knew by March I'd already made $100,000. You know, I knew that I had made enough money that I could survive off the entire year and be okay. However, there were local businesses and local restaurants around me that were just barely opened their doors in January. I mean, could you imagine launching a business in January and then all of a sudden COVID? Some of you real estate agents probably might have done that. But I wanted to be that person who was going to be able to support them. So at about day 5 in our business during COVID, we changed directions and we started doing giveaways, and I bought gift cards at different restaurants that were small, mostly homegrown small business owners. None of the big box companies, I didn't buy any from them. But I wanted to be sure that I let them know, and I held drawings for them, and just, hey, give them a shout out. They're doing takeout, just so you know, and I go get takeout from them and I post a picture. Those are all the things that are super important. When you're building a presence in your community, like this is the part where I say show up is so important. Like, who are you showing up for? It's always crazy to me that people expect to have business in the real estate business, yet they want to just have it land in their lap. I sure wish I could find a buyer. Well, what did you do to get one, right? Or if you're looking for a seller, have you done something to get one? Like you get what you give, right? And so showing up for your community is one of the biggest ways that you can support them for sure. Which leads me to building your circle. Building your circle is hands down the best thing that you can possibly do to get your name out there on social media. Will you please shut that window? No, those trucks are loud. It's the biggest way for you to become a dominant real estate agent so that people know who you are in your marketplace. So here is my recommendation. This will serve 2 purposes. One, you're going to build your online presence this way. Second, you're going to actually be the go-to gal so that when your clients call you and say, hey, do you have a painter? Yes, I do. I have 2 or 3. Let me send you a message and give them to them. Kind of a funny story. My daughter has her husband runs a landscaping company, and his business partner, his name is Juan. And so every time you ask for something, my daughter would always say, oh yeah, Juan knows a guy. Juan knows a guy. So we just call that guy Juan knows a guy. Like he doesn't even have a name. He's just Juan knows a guy, because she would always say that. But I'm kind of that gal when it comes to real estate. Like if my clients call me, I can send them to almost anybody. You know, the cleaner, the window cleaner, I don't know, carpet, paint, sheetrock, you know, HVAC, like these are all my people, pools, like those, and I call them my people. And then when I refer them, I text them and let them know, hey, I'm sending you a client, here's their name, so that they know that I'm sending them business. And I expect them to treat them the same way that I conduct my business. I expect to call back, or it'll be the last time I refer them. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I can find 10 other painters, right? So when you start to build a rapport with your vendors and they know how you do business and they know that you actually will bring them and you're loyal, you'll be surprised and amazed how much your name will travel through those, even through those networks. Okay, so here's what you do. Comment on at least 3 businesses a day in your area, preferably local ones. You don't need to comment on Target. Target is not going to respond back to you, okay? So comment on your small business owners. And if you don't know any, start making it a habit when you go out to eat or something, try somewhere new that's local. Super fun. It's nice to be able to go and do it. Next is when you purchase from them, post about them. There's a reason for this. So when it's hard for me to not want to eat my food, so I'm always like, stop. And my husband will stop. He's like, do you want to take a picture first? Yes, I do. Sorry, but I'm a business owner. You know, this is what I do. So I'll take a picture of my food, and you can dang well, you'll see if you follow my team surge, you guys know that we are like lovers of Farmhouse Bakery. And gosh, we posted the other day, Jimmy John's, they had a sandwich to us. We ordered it in 12 minutes and it's a 4-minute drive time. It took them 8 minutes to bring us a sandwich. Crazy. So we posted about it. And of course they posted back. But when you do a purchase from anywhere that's a local business owner, make sure you post about them in your story and then share it there. Share it in your story and then tag them. The reason that you do that is the next point, which they'll in turn share you on their story. Why is this important? Because you're reaching a demographic that you are never going to be in front of. There's never been a time for you to be able to get in front of people you don't know more than now. I just showed you 56% of buyers are online. That's where your leads are coming from. Leads are coming from online. We have to find a way to get in front of it and start building that presence. But that's how you'll build your community and become a market expert in your field. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right quick so that we can answer any questions or we can kind of chat about it. That's basically what I've got for you today. Let me just stop sharing. Here we go. Who has questions? Really, like for me today, the framework is really about getting in front of people. And when you're posting things online, make sure it's of value. You know, let me tell you what not to do. Don't just post pictures of houses. So I noticed that some brokerages actually have a pre-laid out templated, layout to post. Those are fine as long as you mix them in with those other things I was telling you about. Something personal, you know, something that's of interest, a how-to, you know, hey guys, I just found this awesome whatever, and here's how you use it. Just wanted to create a quick little video. I promise you, you'll be shocked at how much people want to see you. They don't want to see a statistic. That's why I hate starting my meetings with slides, because I'm with you. Like I want to be in your face. I want to see your faces so that people like to see people and they actually want to know that you're a real person. I can post all I want to on that Nikki B platform about, you know, how to build your real estate business. But unless you and I have a conversation, or I DM you, or I reach out to you and let you know, hey, I'm a real person and I'm just going to give you my honest opinion. And all you have is my experiences to go off of. But if I can grow a Facebook group from January to today and grow by 6,000 people, you guys can do this too. I am nothing special or unique, I promise. Just take some persistence and just taking it. This shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes. If it takes you longer than 30, you're in a rabbit hole. Go log on Pinterest. It can become a huge rabbit hole, I promise. Who has questions? Let's see, let me get into the chat box here. Okay, are you able to go live or share someone's listing? Oh yeah, for sure. If I were doing a walkthrough, when you take a new listing, you should do a video like a Facebook Live, and then share it to, or do an Instagram reel or whatever to it, and just make sure you share it across both platforms. But yeah, I would walk through. My favorite ones that are really super cute that I've seen people do is where they walk fast up to the front door and they walk through like kind of slow, and then they go fast and then they go slow. And it takes some time to learn how to do that, but literally it's just, you know, the speed up or the slow-mo or regular speed on your camera. But yeah, I would definitely be posting on someone else's listing. I don't know why not. Hey, I'm showing this house today and it's amazing. Anyone looking to move in the Bloomington Hills area, I'd be happy to do a showing for you. Heck yeah, I totally would. You obviously can't say that you have it for sale and you have it listed. You're just walking through an amazing house today that's actually for sale and you're interested, you know, you just want to show them some awesome features about the property. Let's see. Are you commenting as your business page? Yes. So that gets kind of tricky because sometimes when I'm on the Facebook platform, I'll comment in because all my personal stuff is private. So when I get on the Facebook platform, sometimes I'll see Nicole Smith Briggs, which is my personal account, is commenting to these agents. And I'm like, oh crap. Like, I definitely don't want to do that. So if I were you, just make sure that your profile is swapped and you'll be able to tell. Just make sure you have a different profile pic and you'll be able to tell. I've done that before though. What happens if a buyer signs an agency agreement and then goes with someone else? Oh, totally happened to me last week as well. So I was, sadly, I was working with a client and I had buyer representation signed. I wrote 17 offers for her, just so you know, 17. And she was at church on Sunday, and this cute little old grandma sat next to her and was like, you know, dear, we're going to sell our house and we would love to sell it to a family. So of course she says, yeah, I'm interested. She's like, but you have to use my real estate agent. And so oddly enough, the other real estate agent happens to be an awesome guy who's in my brokerage. And if it were any other broker, or any other client, if it was a different brokerage or a different realtor, I would have gone after them for a commission just because I know I did the work. Like I definitely was due a commission. However, it was someone else in my brokerage, and I actually highly respect them. There's something to be said for that, in that it's kind of a bummer for me, but I had representation, right? Like I did my job and I wrote offers for them, but I can't help that the seller was only paying the agent 1% and wanted to offer, you know, and only 2.5 on the buy side, so 3.5 total. And so they weren't willing to pay anymore. And the people were 93 years old. I mean, what are we going to do? Take money from grandma and grandpa? I can't do that. So for me, it happens. It can definitely happen. And it just depends on the scenario. But I make sure, just so we're really clear, no, I don't go show houses unless people come into my office and we sit in that conference room and we actually discuss it and they sign agency with me. I don't ever put anyone in my card that doesn't have agency, unless they're like my family or something that I know isn't going to go around me. And what's great, if there's any brokers on here that are training agents, like just knowing that that's just how you do it and that's how you're supposed to do it, gets them into a really good, healthy habit to make sure that, you know, you don't have people going around you. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. I've been trying to figure out how to personalize my business page and make it personalized. Oh, awesome. Okay, good, Alicia. And you know what? Let me, I'll jot down your name right quick and I'll maybe give you a couple of suggestions and hopefully that will help. Yeah, like it's okay to share personal stuff. Just don't be like, hey, went out and partied and got hammered last weekend. Here's this awesome photo of us. Like, don't do that. Discretion, right? Like, really, we're trying to portray ourselves as a professional business owner. So I kind of keep my same standards as how I would be in the office as what goes on my page. So that's just kind of a good rule of thumb. And just making sure that your post is intentional. I'm all about your real estate business the way you become efficient is to be intentional. I'm always talking about how working 80 hours a week is crazy, like it's nuts in the real estate business. And I know it happens and I know we have to do it. However, if there's a way, which I know there is because I did it, to only, give 25 hours, 5 hours a day for 5 days. If you can give 25 hours a week to real estate and still earn 6 figures, you can do it. You can. It's how I did it. You'd be amazed with what you can do when you only have a certain amount of time and you're highly motivated. And when that bank account gets zero, it's incredible how efficient I became. I don't meet with people who aren't pre-qualified. You don't go look at houses unless, you've signed a rep agreement. There's 100% guarantee that at the end of the transaction, you're going to love it because I've given you my 100% attention and I'm completely professional. This isn't a sometime job for me. This is a full-time job for me. And I make sure I carry myself that way. And that's just building one deal on top of another will let people know you're leading your ship, and that your stuff. And it will help build that confidence that you need to start growing that evergreen business that you're looking for. By the time I hit year 10, well, let me just start this. I started on a buyer agent team as a buyer rep, as a buyer agent. I was on there for 4 years. And the clients didn't ever know who the team lead was. They were invested in me, right? So staying in touch with them, even after I left there, I had a 1-year non-compete, couldn't talk to them. But after a year, you can bet I went back and chatted with them. And just building those relationships, in year 10, I had a good repeat referral business. And for the last straight 10 years, I've made at least 6 figures or higher for the last 10 years. So just building that repeat referral business is huge, and having a system in place, even if it's social media. People are always like, oh, I don't have time for that. Where's Sherry? Is she still on here? I love her. My cute little neighbor. Yes, she is. Sherry, she's in my brokerage. She's 2 doors down from me. She's always like, I'm not on Facebook. I shut it off and I don't have social media. I can help her. I can get that started. It takes me 10 seconds to get a social media profile started. And for those of you that don't know what you're doing at all, I have that Insta-worthy agent that's on my profile. I have a 40-page guide on how to do it if you're interested in that. And I can't remember how much that they've got it on there for sale for, but I just want you to know that you definitely can build an online presence. And it's going to take it, that's what you're going to see in 2021 is just more of the same. We're going to be just trending even more so this way. I don't know if y'all know what's happening in July. Don't quote me on this for those of you who are stock gurus, but in July, at the end of the month, they kind of discover whether or not, I don't know, I'm so bad to talk about this. They're meeting with the Federal Reserve to see if they're going to continue to print money, right? So they're talking about how this technology boom is supposed to happen in stocks. And that is supposed to be the tip of the iceberg, where this could be 2000, I think it was 1998 or 1999 when the stock skyrocketed over technology. This is all in the forefront. This is why social media is just blowing up, and the way that we've done business for years is different, and times have changed. And we had a gigantic shove into technology in the last year. So let's see, one more question. Let's see. I have only had one listing in my first year of being a realtor. I just received an email from a potential client listing with a bunch of questions, including how many past listings I've had and for contact info for past clients who listed with me, which is only one client. How do I answer this? Be honest. That's how you answer it. You can always let them know. When I was new, I did this. I included my brokerage numbers because I work at Keller Williams here, but at the time I worked at another brokerage that actually did quite a bit of volume as well. I let them know the reason why that's important to them is I was trained by them. So, and over the last year, I work hard. And unlike all those other real estate agents that may have 65, 75 listings or whoever you're interviewing, you're my client. You're just looking for your opportunity. You just need to be honest with them and tell them your integrity is everything and your word is everything. And just be honest. And if they don't pick you, then that's unfortunate for them, right? But it was a great learning curve for you, that the next time you go, you'll go with even more confidence. I know this seems important to you, but can I tell you why the number of deals won't matter? Because I have an amazing brokerage. I have a really great broker who's right there showing me everything, you know, every step of the way. I can give you my past clients' contact information. She would use me again. And that's what you're asking me for. Doesn't matter if it's one. I could, you know, most agents, and you tell them this, most agents will just give you their best. They're not going to tell you about the bad ones. The good news for you is I've had one deal and I slayed it, and they'll give me a good review. And that's what you're looking for, right? That's what you say. You talk to them in a way that lets them know that's what you're looking for. And just be honest. But I would use my brokerage numbers, and then I would let them know that, and I would give them your past clients' information. And then you let them know that you're a hard worker. Let them know a little bit about you, and that, you know, integrity and honesty is the number one thing, right? That's why I showed you those slides before. That's what they're looking for. The number one thing that they were hoping for was honesty. So you can't fluff the numbers, they'll find out. We used to do that when I worked at this super competitive brokerage. We would find out, so tell me, what other real estate agents are you interviewing? You just call them, say, hey, when you're pre-qualifying that listing call, hi, before I come out, I just have a few questions for you, just to make sure that I'm getting my net sheet prepared properly, and I bring out all the information that you need. Couple questions. It sounds like you're planning to interview more agents for the job of selling your house. So let me ask you, how many do you have appointments with? Okay, good. Do you know who, you know, do you have their names? And the reason why you want to know is just so you know who your competition is. In my town, it's small enough, we kind of know everybody. Maybe it's where, you know, you are as well. But if I were you, you don't ever want to bash anybody. But what you want to know is if you're up against somebody that has 125 listings and their expire rate is 200 listings, you can say, well, unfortunately, I haven't expired any listings. You know, this is this agent compared to me, and I know that's what you're looking for. So hopefully you'll give me a chance. My first for sale by owner, it was my very first for sale by owner. And I landed the contract because I said I could get an extra 5,000. I could put my commission on the top, and I did it, and I sold it in like a day. It's crazy. But because they believed me, they knew I was being honest and I was being real. So I would just tell you to be real. Okay. Anyone else have any more questions? I've taken so much of your time. We've gone past an hour. Sorry about that. So anyone has questions, you know, you can always DM me. You can always send me an email, show up at nikkib@gmail.com. You can always go into my Facebook group if you're not members in there yet. I hope to see you in there. I personally let everybody in there. So I don't like to have marketers in there. I only have a selected few lenders in there for advice. But we don't allow postings of listings. Like, we don't let people put their listings in there. I'm sure everybody across the country has great listings, but the reason I don't is because we literally are in there to share our experiences or troubleshoot, just like that gal did, with problems that we're having, so that we can get some good advice. Everyone's personality handles something else, and sometimes it just doesn't resonate. Or like, we've got some good stuff in there, like cards. So I don't know, they've got some really great websites that people are recommending, which is really cool. So anyways, thanks to everyone for being here. I appreciate your time so much. I'll see you again next time.